What's going on?
What's going on?
What's going on, boy?
We back.
Tapped in.
We back. Tapped in again, yo. It's your boy Troy.
It's your boy Sean.
Hey, we tapped in again.
Tapped in, boy. We crossed that hurdle.
Yeah,
Gotta cross that
no
hurdle.
doubt. We back.
So look, man, we want you to. We need your participation in this show for sure, for sure. So throughout the next week, we're gonna be doing the challenge. We talk about how using our the skill sets that you already have or the experiences that you already have to reach the youth. And so what we doing is a week is week, right?
No, no,
No, a
no.
month.
4 weeks.
4 weeks. 4
4
weeks.
weeks.
We're doing a 4 week tapped in teen entrepreneur challenge,
No
right?
doubt. No
And
doubt.
so my man Troy, this is what he do. And so I'm gonna let him give you a little bit of the. I guess that you want to go ahead and get an insight on what we're doing.
No doubt. So we just want to provide an opportunity for some young and aspiring entrepreneurs. So the way that we have it mapped out, we're going to select 4 teams from the ages 14 to 17. I mean, the only requirement, well, 2 requirements: you have to be in school and you have to have your parents, consent to participate. But look, we're going to provide the merchandise. We're going to find out, yeah, where you at with your entrepreneur skills. I mean, your responsibility is going to be pricing, inventory, marketing, sales, delivering the goods, but we're going to provide the merchandise for you. So we're going to announce the participants next week. But if you have anybody in mind, your child, someone you may know, hit us on the Tapped In page. You can inbox us. We'll be announcing the candidates next week. Um,
Yeah. And so basically, what we're gonna do is give him some merchandise. Me and Troy have been selling clothes for years. That's what he's known for. King's Closet. I mean, go find and like that page as well. You know what I mean? That's where he does some of his advertising for. You know what I mean? It's his clothing boutique. And so basically, what he's doing is we taking some of his inventory stuff that he's not gonna put back out next year, and we giving these young teenagers the opportunity to get some merch. They get to price it, they get to market it and advertise it, and then they come in and check in with us. And basically, whoever hustles the hardest and make the most money is the person that wins.
you the Tapped then entrepreneur.
That's right, task entrepreneur.
No
And
doubt.
so we just want to be able to do something to connect with like-minded young people. And so like if you're watching this and you see this clip, you're a parent, you got somebody young that that you want to push them in the right direction and see them doing something, what I mean, that's just going to heighten their interest in being an entrepreneur. We want that that child. We want that kid to be a part of this. Unfortunately, we only gonna have 4 spots, so if we get multiple requests for certain people, I mean, obviously we're gonna look at that. But this is the first of many things that we want to do to tap in with our youth. I mean, we understand, the way that you change the community is you change the mind of a child, or you reach somebody when they ready to make that change.
That's it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
it,
So
man. Let's motivate them, man. Let's motivate our youth, and I think it could lead to other things.
absolutely.
Yeah. Just tap it in. I wish, when I was growing up, that I had some opportunities, like this, man, because I would have tapped into that
Right,
entrepreneurship, a lot sooner.
right. And we gonna be there for guidance, advertising strategies, marketing strategies, things like that. Troy's gonna, give some of the things that he do as far as, getting deals done. Might have to, bundle up something, what I mean,
Oh
to
yeah.
get what you want. But what I mean, ultimately it's just to exercise that muscle of being an entrepreneur. So we look forward to hearing from you on this.
Oh yeah. Last but not least, so on that 4th week, whoever has the most net sales, again, there's a trophy involved, and there's a spot up here on Tapped In with us, man. We want to invite you in and have you talk, tell about your experience and what it took for you to tap into that entrepreneurial mindset.
Mindset. Yeah,
No doubt.
that's what's up. So man, look, like last week we got a little bit of feedback on the house rules.
Yeah.
House rules, man. So one of the one of the rules that's probably stuck with me until even right now, I don't do
What's that?
it, man. No drinking while you eat your food. What?
Yeah.
Why we couldn't drink, man?
Man, you had to sit there and choke, boy. You couldn't.
But I said, man, they ain't want that water fill up none of that stomach. You get all food in there, and then after you full, then you can try to wash it down.
Yeah, yeah. But we ain't know them kids, man. They had that Kool-Aid too, man. You want 3 or 4 cups of that. That's why they made you wait. They want you to get full so you can only drink a little bit.
That's right. That's right. It was ration control.
That's
You know what I mean? It's more, and it was more so on the drinking side because you know what happened, man. You start drinking a whole bunch of stuff, and now you done ate all of your food. Food getting cold, or you throwing away half a plate. You know what I
hmm
mean? Mom, dad, tomorrow you threw away a whole day's pay.
Oh yeah.
You know,
That's
mess
it.
around drinking red Kool-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That definitely was one in every household, I believe.
yeah. And then what was one of the other things, man? Man, going back and forth in the
That's a no no.
house.
That's
Man, you almost can feel it, man. If you go in and out within a 5, 7 minute range twice, somebody gonna tell you sit down and calm your nerves.
man, that's the worst feeling, man. I remember running in the house and they said you gonna stay. And you done told your buddies, I'll be right back out in 5 minutes. and, and you get
You
stuck and
sitting
gotta
there staring out the window, so yo,
I
like,
can't come back out.
yeah, I'm in jail, man. I'm in jail. I'm
Yeah.
in jail. Now, was you the type where you be like, look, mom, dad, look, I'm. If you let me go outside, I'm gonna stay out there until it's done. Did you try to bargain, or you just shut it
Man, it was like that at my house, my auntie's house, my cousin's house, and it's man. The crazy part was it was only the boys. The girls, man, they could sit in the house and come back and forth. Man, we had to go out. I don't care if it was 90 degrees outside. You're gonna drink from the hose,
down? Yep.
and you're gonna stay out there all day.
Yeah, you gonna run it up.
You know,
Nah,
like
you not getting. You,
the
I ain't even gonna give you the chance to think that you
oh
gonna
yeah,
tell me to sit down somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
I can't. I can't do that, man.
yeah.
That's yeah. That's those are that. But that was fun times, man. That was
It
fun times,
was, man.
man. Like literally trying to think about how much time I really spent outside.
Man, yeah,
Like
yeah.
literally, like from lunchtime, especially in summertime. I might was in the house when I got up. Might go out between 10 and 12, come in and eat lunch, and then when I went out after that, I might not come in until I'm gonna start.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. On your own.
Yeah. Oh
Now I
yeah.
know everybody had this plan though. Now this is I'm gonna use the word. This is diabolical right here, man. Man, if you ever had a parent that would walk all the way through the house, open the door, call you in for you to go grab the remote or find the like you don't walk through the whole house
Right. Right.
and came and got me and oh I need you to go grab the remote or do take the trash out. I'm like,
Yes, it's right
you
there.
was right
You
there.
walk right past it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that was the good old days,
it
man. That
was,
was
man.
the
But
good old
but most of the time when that happened, it's because it was your chore,
days. Yeah.
or you was the last one with the remote, and they ain't feel like you was just sit up here and watch TV for 2 hours, and now I can't find the remote. No, I'm not gonna look for the remote. I'm coming to get you. You gonna find the remote because you was the last one there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they walk past the trash. The trash is full, and they ready to go outside, but you in your room. Hey Troy, come get this trash. Yeah, I know my
Yeah.
son hate me for that. I do that now, man. I'll walk by a full thing of trash.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
After a long day's work too.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Come get this.
No doubt. No doubt. So we got this week, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man. You might as well go ahead and jump into it 10 toes down.
Listen, man. We try our best to stay away from it, but listen, I'm going there, man, because it, everybody's seen the clip, with Marvin Sapp, and that's what I saw. I saw just a clip
Mhm.
itself, and I see where he had actually told the ushers to close the doors, and he was taking offering, and you know, we can look at all the churches around. You know, I visit a lot of churches. Offering time, man, can be a bit intense. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be, but it
Right.
can be. But from what I saw, from the clip that I saw, man, I was a little appalled, man, by it, man. I was like, man, I mean, because I always had the understanding you give from the heart. You
Right.
give what you want to give, and you know, you let the man upstairs move you on how you want to spend. I mean, this guy went as far as saying you ain't gonna go do nothing but go out to eat afterwards. But I'm a grown man. If that's what I plan to do after church, is take my family out to eat.
Right.
And I'm not saying this in no disrespectful way or anything like that. But whose business is that?
Right.
If I decide to take my family out with my hard-earned money that I earn, because people don't know what you do outside of giving that offering, especially if you know
Right.
you bless some folk during the week and you know what I mean, you help, maybe gave out a few loans and all that.
Right. And I mean, you already know what you want to give. And like you said, man, if you already if you move to do that, you know, and it's compelling. And again, that was the first thing when I seen the clip. It was like, okay, I need the context of this. Like,
No doubt.
what is this really about? But even within context, you know, it's it's cringy.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because you don't know what financial position the families are in,
Hmm.
right? And you know, if they've already had an offering or gave their tithes or you know what I mean, separated out their money and they know how much money they got left to do X, Y, Z. And I get the whole sacrifice thing. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I've been in services where, you know, they want to raise extra money, you know, and they
No
ask you
doubt.
to come up there. But it was just the like in the manner that it was done. You know,
Yeah.
like, no, close the doors. No, I'm close the door.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
was almost it's like, hold on for a
Yeah, you
second.
holding us hostage because now my heart is might get hardened just in the manner of what you're doing it.
Right,
Because even if I'm not intended to give it, I can be moved to do more because if you say, okay, it's for this cause and all that, I say, okay,
right,
no, I'll do it.
right,
You know what I mean? Because I don't mind helping and, you know, pushing the ministry forward, whether it be financial or whatnot. But the manner in which it was done, it would have shut me down. And what I was going to give, I probably would have folded that back up and put in
right.
my pocket too. It was
Yeah,
like, nah,
yeah. And then walk right towards those ushers. Then he said, close the
and
door.
damn, not over there. And you know, I don't like being like that, but that is a little hostile to me,
It was,
man.
and just the tone, like the tone in which he was. I'm like, yo, what is like you trying to shake me down?
And we do things in love, man. We do
Yeah,
things. We're supposed to do things in love, man. And
right,
then also take in consideration, not everybody is a member. Some people coming off the street. If I'm coming off the street and I'm coming out of a bad situation, and I'm here to get something, and I have to deal with this, and I deal with stuff like this in the street all the time.
right, right,
I don't want to come here while I'm seeking some type of deliverance or something,
right,
and now I got to deal with this because it's gonna put a bad taste in my mouth.
right. And it's just like the overall experience. You know what I mean? And when you go into it, it was like, nah, I want the plates up here in the front. I want to see 1,000 people get the money. Like, yo, what difference does it make?
Yeah.
What difference does it make if you see who did and who didn't or whatever? It's just like, and you know what I mean. And for me, it's like, oh, now you're trying to shame somebody. That might not have been his intention and what he was doing. That might not have been his thought behind it. But as somebody who looked at it, and you know, even just listening to it, I'm like, yo, man, how would you know? I felt how I would have felt if I was in that church.
Right, right. And bring it out of you. It'll bring
Yeah,
it out of
you know what I mean. And again, we done both grew up in church,
you. Oh
in
yeah.
that type of church
Oh yeah.
all our lives,
All of our life.
all
Yeah.
of our lives. So it's not like we speak it, you know, from afar off. And again, we don't have the context of the passion that was behind why he was trying to get this blessing.
Right.
But there were some people that was there for something totally different than that.
And honestly, if I could be honest, I'm gonna be real honest with this. I wasn't. I didn't like the way when he turned around to the pastors because that was singling them out, and not all of them up there may not be in the same. But if you now that you're looking at my finances, you count me. You're a mega music artist and all that. So if there's a gap that need to be filled, write the check. Write the check.
Yeah, be the blessing.
Be the blessing. If that's really what laid on your heart and we falling this short, fill in the gap. Write the check.
Right. So, like we hadn't planned this, but this is in that same vein, right?
Hmm.
So there was a clip that came out. This guy, pastor, oh, probably about our age, man, like 40s, um, and this was at the end of the service, and I don't know the context of this either,
Hmm.
right? But there was a couple that was in the back, and he called them up to the front, and they was like, we sold everything. I think they came from Canada or something.
Hmm.
We sold everything so we could come here and be a part of this church. Like
Hmm.
we was on the road for I can't remember how many days it was, and he was like, "Man, y'all came here just to be a part of this?" He was like, "Yeah, man, we sold everything just to come
Wow.
here and be a part of what you have going on here."
Mhm.
And so the pastor was like, "I received that." He said, and so he got the names and was like, wanted to pray for him.
Mhm.
I said, "But I want to bless you too."
Mhm.
He said, "So I'm gonna give you $50,000,
Wow. Wow.
right?
Okay. Uh-huh.
I'm gonna give you $50,000." The guy's like, "No, that's not why I came here. That's not what I want." He said, "No." He said, "I want to give this to you. And my heart is moving me to give you this,
Mm.
right?"
Mhm.
And the guy was like, "No, no, no." And so the pastor was like, "Look, I understand that you didn't come here for this. You didn't want this, but you can't block. I don't want you to block my blessing.
That's
Like
it.
I
Right.
want to pour this into you. You didn't
Mhm.
ask for it. You didn't come up here. I want to pour this into you,
Right.
right?" And so like that's a whole different side.
Oh yeah.
You know
Oh
what I
yeah. No
mean?
doubt.
Where you being moved
Mhm.
to give,
And he didn't ask. Just like what I just said, he didn't ask Gary. This is what God laid on his heart.
right?
So that's what he did.
Right. And so and
Yeah.
again, you let God do the work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You put the cause out there, and you say what you feel is in your heart that needs to be said,
Yeah.
and what you would like the goal to be. And you let God work.
And you let God work.
Let God work.
That's it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's it. And you know when you're dealing with your local ministries, I'm going to say this, and you know what they're about. I know what my pastor is about. I
Hmm.
know how she gives and what she does with the community. If she was to, she doesn't do that. But if she was to do it, I would be more compelled because I'm close to the work and I see the work that's being done. I'll say, okay, yeah, I want to sell into this. But if I'm visiting to your church, God would really have to lay it on my heart. You couldn't talk it out of my
Right. Right.
pocket. Nah,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's almost like I ain't even gonna say it, but we done
yeah,
said enough, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. And listen, anybody, if you have an opinion on it, or if you know more about the situation, have more contacts, feel free, man, to tap in, talk to us, man,
Yeah.
drop us a line, let us know, because I am, I do want to see what other people think, about this, man.
Yeah. And we're empathetic to the word. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And you know what I mean? And what was really going on. Like we speak into it from afar, not bashing or anything like that.
Mhm.
This is just our personal thoughts.
Yeah.
Like if I was there and I heard heard
Yeah.
that, like, okay,
Yeah, and I still love the bro. I still love his music and everything, but that
never
right
would have
there.
made it. Never would have
Somebody
made
said, I said, never would have paid it.
it. Oh man.
Man.
Yeah, yeah. But nah, that was good stuff, man. So look, I don't know how much you pay attention to it, man, but I look a lot of like a lot of AI stuff. Um, Look at Chat GPT, um, Gemini, Claude, like all of
Mhm.
these generative AIs, and then you're starting to look at some of the physical AI stuff that they're coming out with,
Hmm.
and then like the video AI, where now they have people's face who didn't even say something on somebody else's face, and it looks like that person talking.
Yeah.
Then you got like video, like voice, where somebody can listen to your voice and create an AI that sounds just like
Oh yeah.
you. And so it makes me think. I had this conversation with my wife last night. Was I think about what industries will still stand up against that, and then I look at people like Bill Gates, who's saying things like um, doctors and nurses might not be that high of a demand for them in 10 years because of what AI can do.
Hmm.
And you think about anything that revolves around a task, it can be programmed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you think about things like driving. Well, you got Teslas already right now
Oh yeah.
that can pretty much drive themselves. Some BMWs
Hmm.
and Mercedes,
Oh yeah.
can pretty much drive themselves.
Hmm.
So now you think about the industries like truckers. You know, can they are they going to start making semis with like an add-on thing where you can turn a regular rig into a autonomous driving truck?
Yeah. I'm sure
You
they're
know,
already working on it.
so it's like it makes me think. It's like, man, what is the world going to look like for my children? How are they going to? What kind of jobs will insulate them to where they can make a good wage?
Mm. Yeah.
When so many things are getting automated.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of industries. I'm not gonna say gonna be obsolete because you're still gonna need a human in
Mhm,
some aspects of it,
mhm.
but it's gonna be less of a demand to have a physical body there, man. So it's definitely gonna look a lot different. And man, we seen a lot of it before I even fully understood what AI was and like how it's getting in the industry. I remember going into my credit union maybe 8 7 8 years ago,
Mhm.
and went up to the counter and the lady said, "Nah, you can use the screen." And when I went to the screen, face, just like you said, face popped up. They talked to me up there, and that was already so many industries had already been testing it that
Mhm.
we didn't even realize what was going on. And I'm sure from there, probably half of the workforce was eliminated once they realized. And the sad part when I think about it is the humans had to
Train them.
train them and direct the people. Oh no, don't come to my stand. Go to
Right.
the. Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's crazy. I mean, and even like when they start, and this is probably maybe 5 years ago, well, COVID. What I mean,
Hmm.
like when they started at the ATM where you could start making cash and check deposits,
Hmm.
and I'm like, what we gonna need the people inside for? Or even like the mobile banking where you can
Oh,
take a
just take the
picture,
picture.
boom, she in as long as you got it set up, it's in the bank the next day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I think about industries like that. I think about like obviously we already get the automated phone calls and stuff like that,
Oh yeah.
but like any kind of data crunching, uh, data entry type
Hmm.
stuff, billings.
Oh yeah.
Billing. Where it's just data.
Hmm.
All of those jobs.
Even entertainment. Just think about like voiceovers. Voiceovers used to be big, you know.
Right.
Now even like animation and things like that, that's all AI. You don't even have to pay an actor to come in,
Right.
capture the voice.
Yep. Or you think about like singer songwriters.
Right.
Well, I got to pay a producer to produce a beat, and then somebody to sing a song when I can just give AI a prompt, make a song that sounds like this with this kind of vibe, this kind of tone, like it came from this
Hmm.
area, and in 30 seconds, you might have a hit smash, and now you ain't got to break nobody off for no royalties or nothing.
Wow. Yeah. Mm.
I mean,
That's a lot to think about.
it's that is it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So, and I've even used AI. I got my son's grade going to college to ask it to research what professions
Hmm.
will least likely be affected by AI.
Right.
And so the things that I'm looking at is physical skills,
Yeah.
trades,
Hmm.
mechanics, uh,
Right.
barbers,
Yeah.
um, carpenters,
Back to the
plumbers.
plumber. That's it. Back to those skill sets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
traditional skill sets, man,
Yeah.
because everybody else is going to be pretty much service based.
Hmm.
So if you can't perform a specific task and be able to show a value there, these major corporations are going to try to find a way to replace you with something that doesn't cost any money, that could work 24 hours a day, doesn't get tired, don't call out, don't get sick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't need time off, don't need a vacation.
Mm.
Like they just work.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the things, man, that I really think about a lot, man.
Yeah, it's something to really think about, man, because I mean, it's gonna change the whole landscape of everything, man. I mean, nothing's gonna be the traditional way anymore,
Right.
man. And for us, we'll be, probably exiting the workforce, hopefully
Hmm.
retiring and things like that. But for the next, the generation to come, man, they gotta really get in and, like you say, figure it
Figure
out.
out. Yeah. And I mean, it's really going to be more like I think for nurses and doctors, it's more going to be more of an assistant role where you might have somebody come in and you might have a generative AI agent that's listening. So like the thing that they roll into the room,
Hmm.
it could be listening to the conversation. Obviously, you consent to it, and as a doctor's listening to it, it could be transcribing it. And when you're done talking, it can come up with a summary and give the doctor hints and say, it sounds like it could be this, 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 or this, right? The doctor could be formulating what he thinks the issue is, but then he can look at that and like, maybe it is one of those two things too. And then they use their hands-on experience to
Hmm.
rule out the ones that they know that it's not because they physically looking and feeling and touching them.
And
Pause. Oh, I agree, boy.
you
Yeah.
play, you play that one back here. Like, wait a minute, pause.
What was that? What you talking about, man?
So even with, I wonder what was a lot of the industries already like predicting this to happen? Because you think like even with therapy and a lot of a lot of these industries, they already started going to like telehealth and things
Mhm.
like that. Was already either on the phone or to the computer, but that's with a live human being. But now they're, I guess, start looking at, you can have AI actually diagnose you or listen, be your therapist. You can talk to them,
Mhm.
and based off of your symptoms or whatever you're going through, they can say, hey, this is what you got going on. And that's a lot.
It is a lot.
That's a lot.
It is a lot, man. And yeah, yeah, it's a lot. But I think it was accelerated by COVID. I think I think it bumped us up 5 to 7 years
Wow.
sooner
Hmm.
than it would have happened. Like COVID made you have to do so many things virtual, um,
Hmm.
and electronically that this was always in the work. So like not deep think, I forgot the name of the company that Google bought, but they've been doing this stuff for years.
Right.
But they didn't think that the public was ready for it.
Hmm.
And then OpenAI, I think it was maybe 2 years ago, 2020. It was like the fall of 2022 or the fall of 2023 when they put out the Chat GPT. And like when I seen what it could do at that time
Hmm.
frame, I was like, oh wow, you know, to be able to scour the internet and you ask it a question and then it spit out a response in 10 seconds.
Right.
Or or like when I first started using it, like I would be wanting to write a letter
Hmm.
and I would say, look, I want to write a letter with this tone to past clients, thanking them for, um, you know, thanking them for doing business with me, how they helped, me and my family accomplish their dreams and all this kind of stuff. And I said, and write it in an empathetic tone. It Man, it wrote a letter. I
It
was
don't
like,
miss do it, man.
did miss, cuz.
I
I was
bet.
like, I switched out a couple words,
Wow.
sent it out, and had all kind of great feedback off of that,
Hmm.
man. And now just the things that it can do now, from things where it can respond to your emails, you know, you can have it queued up. You can have it read all of your previous emails.
Hmm.
Then you can have it look at your incoming emails and create a draft, and then you can go back. Let's just say you're out on the road or whatever. When you get back to your office, all you got to do is look at the responses and click send, or you can go in and edit and
Wow.
make a changes.
Man.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy. So I mean that's just something that's been on my mind, man. Figured it would be good to share, talk about it. I mean, you let me know how it's affecting you and what you and your profession, what you do right now. I would really be interested to see, how um, how it's affecting the working
Oh
force
yeah.
in
No
general.
doubt. No doubt.
So man, you had sent me a question that actually, I mean, I've been in that situation, where you said not I haven't been in that situation.
Hey,
Let me
man, I know
pause.
you for a long
Whoa,
time,
whoa,
man.
whoa.
I ain't know no.
No, 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 no. Let's roll that back. But like with step siblings.
Hmm.
So what was the question? What was the question again?
I don't know how this came up. We was coming home from church on Sunday, man, and we was in the car talking. My son, my wife, and I. And I was like, we was talking about can step siblings date later on in life, and man, we all had different opinions. I was like, it depends. Hear me out. When I say it depends, I mean, okay, let's say 5 and 6 years old. Our parents date from 6 to 11 or 12. We live together. We consider ourselves brothers and sisters because we do everything together. We live together.
Hmm.
At that time, we're innocent. We're not. We're playing together. We're kids.
Hmm.
We go off college, come back.
Now that y'all parents not
Yeah,
together
your
anymore.
parents not together
Okay,
anymore.
okay,
Most of the time throughout life, that's still your brother and sister. I don't,
right.
because that's what you're gonna acknowledge them as because y'all spent so much time together.
Hmm.
But me personally, I don't see nothing wrong with circling back and if it not that you
Right,
intentionally go looking for it, but if
right.
it happened, what's the harm there?
See, to me, my experience with that is totally different because it's like the love that I have for my dad, right?
Uh huh.
It Because that love is so strong for him, I couldn't even do that because it's like if it's his daughters,
Hmm.
it's like they my sisters. Like the
That's
love,
it. Point blank.
yeah, like the and this is the guy who's been with me since I was 2 years old, or I've been with him since I was 2 years old.
Right.
You know what I mean? So the love is real there, and to me, it's just like no way.
Hmm.
Like if I love and respect him the way that I say that I do, like it's almost like looking at my own brother. It's just like nah, that's yeah, no, that's.
What about
But in
on the
that scenario, that what you just said, I don't know. You know what I mean? I never thought about it. I don't know. All I have is the perspective that I have.
think about this? Think about this. Okay, so you remarry later in life, and let's say you had teenagers. She has a teenager, or vice versa. You have a teenager. Y'all move together.
Mhm.
You, your dad sees something in mom. The daughter is the offspring of the mom. They like. Think about. I'm just been thinking about it
Okay,
now.
I'm trying to follow you. So say
So
that.
so okay. What I'm saying is they're teenagers. So the mom and dad was attracted to each other. And dad said, "Oh, mom's pretty. Well, daughter probably look like the mom. The dad, son probably look like the dad. If
Mhm.
if that
Right, right, right,
situation
right.
like that. So if they was to be attracted to each other, because they just coming in together as a blended family.
Mhm.
I mean, I know from a parent standpoint, you're gonna want them to,
Right, right.
But if it were to happen, is it?
It's too many women and men in the world.
But all of them don't. You don't get to know them all when they in your house, live with your mom and dad, going all the time,
It's
hanging
too
out,
many other.
talking.
It's too many other people in the world.
I'm sure it happened a whole lot more. I'm glad I didn't. I mean, I didn't have to deal with that. No.
Yeah. I mean, and that's speaking from an adult standpoint. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, I would have that conversation going in with, and that's something that they should have had. Like, look, we a blended family, whatever, and it's way too many people in the world
Yeah,
that you can.
it's too close.
Yeah, it's too close, right? And because some, yeah, that could play out in so many ways that aren't good,
Yeah,
and it's best to just not.
yeah,
It's best
I
to not
agree.
do it.
I think it's best not to at all.
Right,
But if it should happen,
right. Yeah, and you got to vet that. As a parent, you would know that, right? You
mm,
know, what I mean, you know how your son or daughter is. They know how their son or daughter is. You can look at, oh, okay, she got an attractive daughter too. You know what I mean, I know how my son is with attractive young women. And it's like it's something that where I think you have to set the stage and the parameters on how this thing is gonna go.
man, you're gonna have to guard that situation. I mean, you can set
Yeah,
the
yeah,
stage
yeah, yeah, yeah.
all you want, but I mean, you're gonna have to monitor the amount of time you outside of the home. How much time do they spend together? Because
Right. You do.
siblings, you do a lot together.
Right.
Hey, so, I mean, yeah, the parents. I think it's a huge responsibility on the
On them.
parents.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
if you think that's a problem, it's like, okay, it's the right time for that.
that's the main thing. Yeah,
Right.
because you can't be selfish in that situation when
Right.
you're looking out for everybody.
Yeah. And at that point in time, your responsibility is their child, right?
Right.
Because they didn't ask to be here,
Mm.
right? And so you got to make a decision that's best for them. And I mean, this you don't want to set them up for a trap either.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's like if it looks like that could be an issue, then maybe
Yeah.
we need to pump the brakes on this situation and tell them, you know what I mean, maybe now not the time.
Yeah.
Now not the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean that's a grown people conversation
Oh
to
yeah.
handle that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They say we're gonna fall back,
Right,
and yeah,
right,
because that time could pass. You know.
right, right. Time pass, and I mean some things they might not forgive you for.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's best to keep that relationship solid.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? To where okay, we good. I've raised you. And at that point in time, if you want to circle back, or you could even keep. What I mean, I don't know how that plays out, but to me, the responsibility is to the child that you have going into this
Yeah.
thing. That's the main goal.
Yeah. There's a lot of different scenarios in that though. This last thing I'm gonna say about it, I'm all for it, but not everybody grow up in the same household either. So let's say you have a guy, he has
Hmm.
kids elsewhere,
They stay with
and
the mom.
he has his 50th birthday party, and his kids fly him from out of town.
Right, right.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just so weird.
yeah. But that's at a different age. Oh well, it depends. They could still be younger, right? Just
Yeah,
flying for the next year.
yeah, but you maybe different age though. More most time in a
A
situation
little
like
more
that, they're
mature.
older,
Right,
they're mature,
right.
but they're still family. So
Y'all tell us. We tripping all over the place on this
yeah, yeah,
one.
because I mean, there's too many different
Yeah,
variables, man, that could go into that.
yeah, for sure, for sure. So I guess one other thing, man, we always talk about real estate at the end, but one of the things that I do um, with some of the landlords that I work with, they interested in getting their properties transferred into an LLC,
Oh yeah. Hmm.
right? Just for the protection of them,
Hmm.
protection of their assets, and just to be able to structure, the real estate portfolio. And so I just wanted to talk about, how not necessarily how to do that. Well, I guess it is how to do that. So the first thing I tell them to do Delaware is a great state to get incorporated in. Right?
Absolutely, no doubt.
We got the Court of Chancery, even though it's not getting good publication right now. But they another thing about Delaware is things can happen fast. So a new governor came in January. It's the end of March. We got a new bill that addressed the issue that Elon Musk was talking about.
Hmm.
Maybe we got it done in 2 months here.
Right,
Small state, you can get done things done quick. If everybody's on the same page.
no doubt.
And so, with over hundreds of years of corporate law, there's statutes that have already been in place that judges can go back to in case there's an issue with a business. They
Hmm.
can go back to a statute or ruling and say, okay, based off of this ruling here, this is how we're going to decide this case
Right,
over here.
right.
And so getting people set up it seems like it's a hard thing to do, but in Delaware, it's really not that hard.
That's not.
The number one thing is you can either hire an attorney or you can hire an incorporations company. You have
Harvard.
Harvard Business Service, CSC, which is upstate, and they work directly with the Department of Finance
Hmm.
for the state of Delaware. So you can get a company incorporated in as short as an hour
Oh yeah.
if you got the coins to do
Oh
it.
yeah.
Or 24, you can get it done for a minimal fee, $200 to $300 in 24, 48 hours. Right?
Absolutely.
And then the next thing that you need is you need to get an EIN number. So once
That's
you
it.
got incorporated, whatever that name is, you go to IRS.gov, say what kind of business you want to put it in, what kind of business it is, and they'll go ahead and they'll generate you an EIN number. Those are the only two things that you need. Well, with the incorporation, they'll give you articles of incorporation,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
you can state who is managing member
Yeah. And
or
what
owners of
state
the
code?
and members of that LLC or that corporation. And then with those, that's the only three pieces of information that you need to be able to set up a bank account,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
And to be able to have properties in that LLC or that
Hmm.
corporation's name. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that briefly. If you got any questions, feel free to reach out to me. But I just recently did that for one of my clients,
Hmm.
helped them set up their LLC, helped them get their EIN number so that they can get properties transferred into that name. And one thing that does is that protects you, the individual. Now somebody slips and falls at the house, the lawsuit isn't against you personally, it's against the
It's the
entity
entity. That's
that
it.
owns that property. The actual insurance policy that covers that house
Hmm.
is in the name of that entity,
Right.
right? And so it's a layer of protection. Disclosure: I'm not an attorney, so please make sure you reach out to your attorney and ask them, what's the best way to protect yourself. But this is just guidelines, and this is just Delaware. I'm talking about Delaware.
That's it. That's it.
But I always, I didn't have anything like pressing real estate that I want to talk about, but that is something that would really, can really be beneficial to you if you're trying to build a real estate portfolio and you want some layers of protection as well.
No doubt. It's good stuff.
Yep,
Yeah.
sure. All right, so I mean, you got anything else tonight, Joel?
No, man. It's everything, man. I think we came in hot tonight, man.
Yeah.
Came in hot.
So we're gonna level this thing on out,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I mean, we got through some turbulence in the middle of the show, and we're gonna land this thing real nicely, man.
Yeah, no doubt. And look, guys, don't forget, if you know any young aspiring entrepreneurs that would be interested, reach out to us. Again, next Thursday, we'll let who we decide to go with, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
Tapped inpreneur.
Tap the entrepreneurs.
Tapped
No doubt.
inpreneur. You know what I mean? So again, make sure y'all tag us, y'all inbox us at the tapped in page. And if you have an issue finding that, we'll share it on our individual pages. We want to try to keep all of the inboxes to tapped in, but if you can't find it, just message us directly, or tag us and share this.
No doubt.
You know what I mean, with your friends, so that they can get their kids, or the young kids that they know, in on this. And then again, in 4 weeks, we'll come back and you'll be able to hear their story and how it worked out for them.
No doubt.
All right. Thanks for tuning in and getting tapped in.
All right. Peace.
Peace.